couldn't give you an exact answer.
Thank you.
I'd like to know specifically, and I assume Mr Osborne or Mrs Munnings, you'd be able to answer this right now, who amongst your management receives reports of serious incidents such as child abuse and sexual assault?
Senator, our reporting guidelines are very clear and they're documented, I think, within our submission. We've got a very detailed reporting protocol that's documented in the submission, which requires our operations team on the island to report matters both verbally and in writing to the Commonwealth.
Within your team, Mr Osborne, who receives who is at the top of the chain, so to speak, who receives the reports of serious incidents like child abuse and sexual assault? Do you?
Well, Senator, if I can continue, in addition to that reporting arrangement that's in the contract and we follow with the Commonwealth, then also I'm advised of serious and critical incidents.
So when were you first aware, Mr Osborne, of sexual exploitation in terms of access to showers, exchange for cigarettes, marijuana occurring inside the centre?
Senator, there's, and I've said this before, we've got very detailed reporting.
When were you first made aware of those allegations?
I'd have to take that on notice, Senator, because...
Was it before the Moss review, Senator, or after?
Senator, I will have to take that question on notice.
Mr Osborne, I'm not prepared to take that on notice. You must know either prior to the Moss review or after the Moss review. When were you first made aware that there was trading of sexual favours and exploitation for cigarettes, access to showers and marijuana?
Senator, I think we've made it clear.
I'm sorry, Mrs Manning, I've put a question to Mr Osborne. I'd like an answer.
Senator, again, I will take that question on notice. As I've said before...
No, Mr Osborne, I'm not prepared for you to take that on notice. I'd like to know whether you knew before or afterwards.
Excuse me, Chair. The question's been asked and answered twice, and if he's not able to answer it, badgering the witness, I think, is inappropriate.
Chair,
I've heard that point of order. So look, you are entitled to take it on notice if you genuinely don't know the answer.
Senator, I would like to...
If you do know the answer, you are supposed to respond.
Senator, I would like to take the question on notice. As I've said, we've got a very detailed reporting arrangement. There is a large number of incidents that occur. And I will take the question on notice because I would like to give this Senate inquiry an accurate answer.
Okay. Could you also take on notice, Mr Osborne, when you were first made aware, and who else in your management team were first made aware of the allegations of rape as outlined in the Moss review?
Happy to take that on notice, Senator.
Can we have an addendum to that, and also when you became aware of things, but also what action was taken at the time?
Certainly, Senator.
I'd also like you to come back to the committee with how many cases of child abuse allegations have been reported to you, Mr Osborne, and the remainder of your management staff, the dates and the status of all of those, how many cases of sexual exchange of sexual favours and exploitation have been reported to you and your other management staff, when and the status of those, and how many cases of sexual assault and rape of either both women, men and minors, and when you were first made aware of them and the status of those, and any other members of your management team.
Senator, happy to take that question on notice.
And just an expansion on that as well, and if you could break that down also by the allegations against, as I asked before, how many against expats, how many against local employed staff, and how many against fellow transferees?
Are we talking many cases here, Mr Osborne?
Senator, we've agreed to take this information on notice. We've come here, we've cooperated. You've asked for a lot of detail information. We will provide it on notice because we want this committee to have accurate information, and we're not willing to provide inaccurate information. So please accept our answer.